Good morning. So I want to play a little of the Tampa Bay 2002 and Oakland Raiders 2002 replay. This is week 13. So a couple I don't know how many videos ago, I had a subscriber and a friend ask which scoring chart do I prefer for football time. They have a version of Big Country Time Sports. This was in reference to the football time definitive edition that I was playing. But the question was, which one do I prefer? Well, I prefer the one in the latest book. So this is Big Country Time Sports version 4.5. It's the only book now currently available for sale. It is coil bound. This is a paperback. The actual for sale book now is coil bound only, so it's perfect for play from the table. This is wonderful for the collection, but it's a little unwieldy for play. Long story short, he wanted to know which one, basically, what do I like or do I prefer? And it is the one that's in the latest book, 4.5, which means it has events, and it has turnover question marks, and it has field goal question marks on the main possession scoring chart. If there's an event, we're going to roll the event table to see what that event is. If it's a touchdown, we're going to, question mark, we roll to see if the PAT is made. If it's a field goal question, we roll to see if the field goal is made. Some are touchdowns, meaning they're automatic touchdowns with a PAT. Some are field goals, meaning you don't have to kick them, they're automatic. But if they're a question mark, you're going to confirm the PAT or you're going to confirm the field goal. Also, it has the very simple 3-6 touchdown explanation. So for those who want to know what's the preferred, what is my favorite, it is in my flagship. So Big Country Time Sports, these are the flagship games. They're the advanced versions, and they're all my favorite ways to play these games. I have Time Sports, the old games, the old books. The old Time Sports book was my favorite versions of the Time Sports simpler games. I'm no longer selling those or giving those away at all. They're just out. So if people want to know what's official, what I'm going to play, what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to support, it's going to be Big Country Time Sports. Obviously, there's other versions of this book out here that I certainly will answer questions on, etc. But the 4.5 version is here. Now, 4.5, again, I've said before, the difference between this and the last big book and the other small coil, it's some typos, it's some rule clarifications. Much of the charts and things have never changed. So it's not really out of date, but okay. So today, but then I just had, I think it was the same subscriber who said, what do you think about using Big Country Football Time for replaying? Well, 100%. I would use it for replaying. I don't care if it's football time or Big Country Football Time. It's perfect for replaying. For those who don't know, I used Big Country Football Time to replay the 1976 Raiders season in its entirety. And of course, for those who don't know, Rodney created the entire history of professional football, both Canadian and American pro football, for Football Time, which is Big Country Football Time. So with that said, I thought let's go ahead and I'll show that why this is my go-to football time game. So we've got the New York Jets now coming to Oakland for Week 13. Oakland is rated AB. The New York Jets are rated. Where's New York? New York Jets are rated CC. So they're an average team. They're not bad. They were 9-7, so CC's about right. So let's go in here and get our matchup grades. So yeah, I would say this is. None of these games are ever designed to be straight replay games. They're designed to be career fictional play games. But you can obviously use these engines for replay, and we have all the teams rated. So we have New York's offense is C versus RB, so C versus B is D. So New York will be on the D charts. The Raiders are A versus C. They're going to be on the A charts, and we are now ready to play. Again, I will normally I've been using 18 possession games using in the replay, but I'm going to do this rules as written. These are 16 possession games, rules as written, and you'll see what the average scoring looks like when you do it with 16 in this book, rules as written. All right, so the Raiders have the ball first, And I'm rolling for the score, and then if there's an event, we'll read this die for the event chart. So the Raiders with the ball first. Rules is written. The Raiders are the home team. They get to go first. I don't do a coin flip. 2-2. So the Raiders on the A chart is a punt. So the Raiders against this New York defense punt. New York on the D chart is 6-5. They're going to score a touchdown. Damn. And 5. Where's 5 at? Touchdown 5. Consult touchdown table. So here we go. We got to roll all 3. So there's going to be a touchdown for the Jets. 12. 12 is quarterback fade pass to the receiving core. So QB pass TD. 2. I'm going to put SE1. PAT is automatic because the chart said 7 points. All right. Guess what? The New York Jets on the road against Oakland are ahead. Here we go. The Raiders are going to score 5. 5 on the A chart is a touchdown. How do the Raiders score that touchdown? Let's see. So the Raiders answer here in the first quarter. It's 9, 10, 11. The Raiders answer with a running back. Running back, run TD. PAT. And folks, New York's final possession of the first quarter, the tie game, is going to be a event too. The quarterback is intercepted by the linebacker, and the opponent uses the B chart or better. Well, we're already in A, so we're going to be QB intercepted. The Raiders will start the second quarter. Folks, it's 7-7 first quarter. Raiders get the ball using the B chart, however, or better. The Raiders are already better, so we skip the B and we go right to the A charts. 42 for the Raiders is a field goal. Raiders take the lead. New York now with the ball second quarter. They're going to go 2-1. 2-1 on D is an event. 1 is big time problem. Pick 6, baby. So it's going to be quarterback interception, pick 6, PAT Raiders. So now in my game, a pick 6 counts as a possession. So you're going to put on the other side DB, pick 6, PAT. Right? So that counted as the Raiders' drive. Next up, the final drive of the first half is 53 for the New York Jets. 5 is a field goal. So New York manages, though, to get a field goal late. Raiders score 10 in the second, and New York scores 3. Folks, it is 17-10 at halftime. It's still a ball game despite the pick 6. All right, New York gets the ball coming out of the tunnel. And they're going to event again. Their event 5. The offense punts. It's going to be a long return. We can use the B or better chart. Well, the Raiders are already on the A chart, so we stay on the A chart. New York punted to start the third. The Raiders go 4. That's a field goal. So the Raiders had another field goal, making it 20-10. So the Raiders are slowly spreading out the score. New York 4. They're going to get a punt. And the final drive of the third quarter, the Raiders on track for their average points per game. They're going to punt. So the Raiders get a field goal. 20-10 going into the fourth quarter. New York with the ball to start the fourth quarter. They're going to go 3. 3 is a punt. Raider defense has shut them down after that first early quarter. The Raiders are going to score a touchdown. Touchdown. Now we roll to see what the touchdown is. So the Raiders rack up to their league average, up to 27-14. It's going to be a seam pass to the running back, quarterback. TD pass to the running back, PAT, and the Raiders add to their lead. New York's final possession of the game is a 5. That's going to be a field goal on the D chart for them, I believe. Yep. So they're going to get a cheap field goal. And now, I don't have onside kicks in the game, but you could easily use an onside kick modified rule to give them a chance to steal a possession. So that would be very easy. If I roll a 1, they will recover an onside kick and get the final possession. No, they don't. So the Raiders will get the final possession. What do they do with the ball on a final possession? 1. The Raiders are going to actually suffer an event. 4 is the quarterback is sacked, fumbles the ball away, and it's over. So QB sack, fumble loss, but unfortunately that was the final possession of the game. Onside kick fails. So, and the onside kick in the history of the NFL has been on average between 8 and 16% chance to recover. So just making this a simple 1 to recover an onside kick is fine. Here's the deal. The onside kick in the recent years has been nigh impossible. The rules have changed so much that the onside kicks become a non-factor. Again, the NFL is addressing it and trying to fix those rules to make the onside kick a play again. But, I mean, last year, as a matter of fact, it was illegal to even kick an onside kick unless it was the fourth quarter. You couldn't even try. Prior to that, you could onside kick anytime you wanted. So the NFL's been dicking around with their rules because they can't get their shit together. But for this game, I would allow teams to make a simple final possession onside kick when they don't have the ball last and they're within, making it an interesting game. But as it was here, they failed the onside kick. The Raiders then were sacked, lost the ball, but that was an actual possession, so the game ends. All right, so as it is, in the fourth quarter, New York shut out in the second half. The Raiders end up... No. New York got a field goal. The Raiders got a touchdown pass. So let's see here. That's 13 points for New York. The Raiders scored 20. The Raiders scored 17, 27. So the Raiders got 27. So let's move this for a sec. Where are the Raiders? There they are. All right, so we continue our replay. The Raiders win, and they win. The Raiders go to 10-2. So the Raiders are well above their real life. Not well. The Raiders are about a game and a half, 2 games better than they were in real life, and they score again 27. Back-to-back games. They won the last week in Time Sports Complete. They won 27-14 over a really bad Arizona team. This week, we win over an average New York team, 27-13. This would be Big Country Football Time, version 4.5. So, next up will be at San Diego. But let's go ahead and do Tampa Bay now. So that game is finished. And you notice I'm not doing 18. I'm using this rules as written. 16 possessions are what's recommended for this scoring chart. Right? Okay, Tampa Bay is a CA. I know that. New Orleans, what are they? New Orleans are AD, so they got a brilliant offense, but a D. So let's go ahead and find out. C versus D. Wow, Tampa Bay might have a decent attack in this game. C versus D is going to be a C. So Tampa Bay just retains their average offense. That's about right. A versus A, though. Oh, their defense brings New Orleans also down to a C. So both teams will be using the C chart. So this is anybody's game. New Orleans starts the ball based on my rules. Now, you could still roll for a coin flip. It's up to you. Again, I like the home team having basically the final drive of the game. So that's why. That's kind of the home field advantage. They get the ball first and they get the ball last. I've talked about that many times in my videos. You've heard that. You've heard me say it once. You've heard me say it 15 times. All right, New Orleans goes to work. First drive of the game. 53 on the C charts is going to be a field goal. So New Orleans drives down the field, kicks a field goal. They're up 3-0 on the Bucks. Let's see here. The Bucks go 5. They're going to get a field goal, folks. The two CC teams have managed to put themselves in position for field goals. 6 is going to be a touchdown. Let's go ahead and roll and see how the Saints score. So the Saints get the first touchdown of the game, and that's going to be 6-7. It's going to be a quarterback sideline pass, so QB TD pass with a PAT. All right, very nice. And let's roll the dice. I'm using my Fight Card Boxing Tower and dice tray for Fight Card Boxing. 1. Ooh, it's going to be an event. Tampa Bay's going to screw the pooch on an event. It's going to be quarterback sacked, fumble recovered. So QB sack, fumble lost, big play by the Saints. So the Saints are up 10-3 on Tampa Bay. Saints start the second quarter. It's going to be 3. It's going to be a punt. So Tampa Bay's defense holds strong after the turnover. Tampa Bay, though, has to punt the ball right back. Saints looking good. Let's see if the Saints can add to their lead. 5, yep, they're going to add a field goal. So they position themselves to boot a field goal. Tampa Bay now chasing Phantoms. They're going to get a field goal. So both teams score 3. It is 6-13 at halftime. Tampa Bay, after a halftime speech by John Gruden, comes out in the third quarter in New Orleans, and they're going to punt. The Saints want to add to their lead here in the Superdome. It's going to be a punt. Tampa Bay needs to get going if they're going to tie this up. No, they're going to have an event 6. This is going to be a sack. Turnover on downs. So they go for it. Turnover on downs. The Saints take over, and they're going to punt. Fourth quarter over. Nobody scores in the fourth, folks. We got a ball game. It's 6-13. All Tampa Bay needs to tie it up is a touchdown. Here we go. 6 touchdown Tampa Bay. Yep, straight TD Tampa. How do they score to tie the ball game? 13 is a quarterback pass to the receiver, so QB TD pass to the wide receiver, PAT, and it's a tie ball game, folks. Sean Payton and Drew Brees go to work. 54 is going to be a field goal. The Saints take the lead. Final drive of the game for Tampa. 3 is a punt. And that means the Saints get the final drive of the game. And it's going to be a punt as well. End of game. And there it is, folks. Tampa Bay adds a touchdown pass. Saints get a field goal to continue the lead. 13-16. Unbelievable. Tampa Bay, their offense just not great, but that defense keeping them in it. But that's another loss for Tampa Bay. They are 7-5. They lose this one 13-16. Big Country Football Time 4.5. And there you have it, folks. To answer that simple question, what do you think about using Big Country Football Time for season replays? I would suggest you can use any of my games for real replays. You just need to have rated teams. And guess what? Lucky for us, Rodney has rated all the pro football history, all the baseball history, all the basketball history, all the hockey history. And he's rated them for both versions, Big Country and for the Time Sports games. So if you were to ask me, what is the official flagship, my official flagship of games? It is Big Country Time Sports. It is the game that I sell almost exclusively now. There's a couple of football time versions, but this is my flagship game book, period. So this is the official. This is what I would recommend for baseball, basketball, everything. Okay. And of course, lucky for us, Rodney did quite the thing, rating every team in history for us, and available free. The Big Country Baseball Time book, which is no longer. If those who want this can write me privately, and I'll link them where they can purchase this from Lulu in a private link. So these are still available for sale, but they're private, and that's because I don't think I want to inundate people with these options. But the baseball game that is in this standalone book is the exact baseball game that's in this book. But this book also has the advanced at-bat game system as well. So for those who are like, hey man, I want to play this Big Country Baseball Time. Oh, it's in this book. The advanced rules. This book is this baseball plus the advanced rules in a simple little book. So this is not public anymore, but it's still there. So if somebody wants this, they can write me privately, and I'll send them a link. They can purchase this privately. Okay. Same with soccer. My D66, the beautiful game. It's no longer public, but if somebody wants it, email me and I'll send you a link. You can buy it privately. And the D66 football game is no longer public. If somebody wants that D66 football game, send me a link or send me an email, and I'll send you a link to privately purchase the little books. But the goal really is to say, this is what you want. This is every sport advanced version of Time Sports, and then you have the history free. So that's kind of where that's where the company's at right now with my big sports book. So okay, thanks everybody for watching. Goodbye.